Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Jaden. I'm Yah.
And we are the Yahoo and the Torah YouTube channel. We're also on the Rumble channel. We're also everywhere. And we have a everyday household cold that we've been battling for a little bit. And they're very enjoyable. I enjoy colds. I enjoy them very much. I enjoyed them. Oh, there's Mr. Cole. She's over there enjoying her cold as well. I've enjoyed them as a kid, and I remember them, and they ring a bell of success when you get a nice big fat cold. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to get a cold. Everybody fights everything they can possibly do not to get a cold. When you guys get a cold, when you're thieving, when your throat is sore, when you're laying in bed, you feel like you're nearly dead, that is actually a blessing. That is a baruka. That is our Creator's amazing designs. How you doing, Eli? Amazing designs.
It's cold.
He has a cold. We all have colds. It's his amazing design that is healing us, right? If we didn't have a fever, if we didn't blow chunks of phlegm up, if we felt great, then we would not be healing. And this is the part of healing. And sometimes we have this thing our Creator gave us called an immune system. Now, this immune system is an incredible concept because people have somehow forgotten that we have an immune system and that sometimes we have to get sick to kick our immune system back into gear. And so sickness is a great thing. It's just it may not feel great at the time, but it is absolutely a good thing. Now, Jade, you started getting sick, like, how long ago?
I don't know.
Was it a week, 2 weeks ago?
10 days ago.
10 days ago, Jade came down with the plague, and I thought he was going to die. He was in there hacking his life away, and he didn't look too good. But then after that, it went, and Eli got sick next, and he's still sick. He's still sitting here hacking and wheezing and stuff like that. Then Miss Nicole's owned, then me, and then Cade, and it ran in that thing, and we are in this like 2 weeks, and so we are struggling through this, trying to breathe. All right, now, anyone have any jokes?
No.
All right, you guys, you know what that means, right? You're leading me to these bad dad jokes. Okay, well, this is what your mom said. She said I had a preoccupation for revenge. We're gonna see about this. Okay, and the second one. Oh, Mr. Cole, what's that? Did you like?
Said that.
No, I said the joke was my therapist said I had a preoccupation for. I said my mom. I said.
You said your wife.
I said my wife. My wife said that, and it was the joke was actually my therapist said I had a preoccupation for revenge. We'll see about that. I thought that was funny, but yeah. So anyway, and the next joke is all right. So a termite walks into a bar. Anyone going with this?
Yeah, I said ouch.
No, that's not it. Anything? So a termite walks into a bar, and he asks this, is the bartender here? You got to think about that one real quick.
It's with wood in the bar.
Bartender here. Right? You got it? Everyone got it? All right, well, that was the best I had. So thanks a lot for your jokes, fellas. All right, anyone else have anything before we begin on this today?
No, I don't think so.
Yah Scriptures is the greatest English translation you guys will find anywhere. This is a $64 book that's probably valued at, I would put a value of $1 million on the Word of Yah. More than that, and there's no value you can actually put on it. But this is 103 books. Sorry, guys, I am sitting there hacking and wheezing. Completely restored. The name of our Creator, the name of His Son, the name of all our forefathers, everything has been restored. Paleo Hebrew names and all of this. We are super, super, super excited about this book. This is how you guys can help Boss Clan. This is how you guys can help yourselves as well. I mean, if you have 5 people in the family and you're able to afford 5 books, grab these books so that you guys have large print books. This is 14.5 font. Everybody's going to be able to see this. You're not going to need your specs to see this. You're going to be just good. And if you do not want to purchase it, but you still want to read the Word of Yah, it is absolutely right here, free of charge, revision 5. You will never find a free version like this anywhere. It's all available for Mac, for PC. You can grab it. And also we have on Amazon, there are 6 different books that you guys can buy. And every one of these books, the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go in so that we can get the U.S. prisoners Bibles. And so you guys can get the Book of Jubilees, the Testament of the 12, the Book of Jasher, Enoch, all of these, the Writings of Abraham, all of these books are very, very good, all restored names completely. So we are on a roll. Now, Jade, where are we at from yesterday's endeavors into the book of SHEMU'EL?
Yesterday we met a woman named Hannah. She had a husband, and her husband had another wife as well alongside her. And she provoked her constantly because she couldn't have children. So she went and prayed and wept before Yahuwah and told that if she had a male child, he'd become servant before Yahuwah. And she had a child, and then she went and brought him up to Eli, who is the priest. He thought she was had been drinking alcohol, and she was drunk because of the way she was crying and weeping at the bottom of the temple. But she did have a child, and his name is SHEMU'EL, and the book is named after him.
Yep, and my dog's name is named after Hannah as well. I have a dog named Hannah, and she had 7 children the very first time. So she didn't have a problem. She didn't have the same problem with the Bible Hannah had, right? All right, so here we go. Chapter 2. And Kana prayed and said, "My heart rejoices in Yahuwah. My horn has been high in Yahuwah. My mouth is opened wide over my enemies, for I have rejoiced in your deliverance. There is no one Kadesh like Yahuwah, for there is no one besides you, and there is no rock like our Elohim. Do not multiply words so proudly. Proudly, let no arrogance come from your mouth. For Yahuwah is an ale of knowledge, and by him deeds are weighed." Now, does this woman seem happy to you?
I think so. I think so.
Is this a sound?
I think it's like sounds of like happiness.
Yeah, this isn't the sound of weeping. Okay, 4. Bows of the mighty are broken, and those who stumble shall be girded with strength. The satisfied have hired themselves out for bread, and the hungry have ceased. Even the barren has borne 7, and she who has many children pines away. Yahuwah puts to death and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and raises up. Yahuwah makes poor and makes rich. He brings low and lifts up. He raises the poor from the dust. He lifts the needy from the dunghill to sit with the princes and make them inherit a throne of esteem. For the supports of the earth belong to Yahuwah, and he has put the world upon them. Okay, this is a theme of the scriptures a little bit, and I think we should talk about this. It says the supports of the earth belong to Yahuwah. Now, if we were a bunch of monkeys on a spinning water ball, and the earth was spinning around in a circle, around and around, and then it was around the sun, what kind of supports would the earth have?
I don't know.
Would it have any supports?
No.
It wouldn't have any supports. There would be no supports. So why does the scriptures keep telling us about the supports of the earth? And that the earth is unmovable, that is a fixed object, that it is it's a footstool of our Creator. Does that sound like the spinning hoax of the ball earth that we've been presented with?
No.
It doesn't. And I'm just trying to get some input from you, and that's it. No, yes, no. Okay. Are you a monkey on a spinning water ball?
No.
Why do you think the earth is round or flat?
Flat.
Why?
Because what the Bible says.
It
talks about
anything else besides
foundations of the earth flat. We don't feel movement.
Yeah, Eli, is it flat or round, buddy?
Flat.
Why do you say that? You sound indoctrinated. Maybe your parents are crazy. They have a tinfoil hat.
Probably.
I think before we did.
Yeah, before did we have it? We actually did.
I think we made a couple of jokes.
We have had tinfoil hats. There's some fun jokes too, and they fit well on me, right? It was a custom size. Now, is what would lead you outside of scriptures to think that the world isn't spinning around? What observations have you guys made that would lead you to deduce that it's an unmovable object? Because you'll have these guys that say that they've jumped out of airplanes and they can see a slight curve, and I don't think people understand that the mathematics that they give us is like it's very. You should see a curve at under 2 miles. If you're jumping out of an airplane up high, you should, without a shadow of a doubt, see a curve. And I will tell you, as a microwave engineer all my life, there is no curve. You do not build a microwave network based on curve. It does not exist. And so yet here we are with another one of these hoaxes that, we are in the end times, and the people of the world prior to this never thought the world was round. They never ever thought about it. This is a Freemason hoax that it seems like most people cannot get out of their indoctrination with. So back to that, Eli, what observations do you see out in the world that would lead you to believe that the world is spinning or it is stationary?
Or that it's flat, right?
Yes.
Yeah. One thing is that planes don't have to like fly down an angle to like fly around. They just have to go flat.
Yep, and we talked to pilots before. We've seen many accounts of pilots, and pilots do not. If you were going over a round ball, your nose would always have to be tilted down. You'd have to be getting inclined, and you'd also have to be pointing the nose down. What else? What else do you guys see that would lead you guys to believe that it's not spinning?
Oh, the water's not flying around Earth.
Water's not flying around Earth. I would say the wind, right? You only have certain times of wind, and somehow they've hoaxed everybody to think that you can be spinning like 1,000 miles an hour, and you're not going to have any wind. You're not going to have any kind of anything. Yet we have there's lakes, and there's things that are perfectly still that you can see. It's just a reflection of glass. Nothing ever moves. It's just there's not a single piece of evidence that we can look at using our common sense that we would go, wow, we must be spinning around in a circle. And so when people have told us all of these indoctrination lies, then they are pushing the creator away from you when our creator is right outside the dome. And that's how this all works. That's how Elon Musk's internet works. It's how satellite internet works. There's no such things as satellites. They do not exist. And guys, I've installed Dish Network for many, many, many years. And yes, this is off the course of our thoughts. But you align it into a micrometer of exactly where it is. And if it moves to the left, just a hair, or to the right, or up or down, and you lose your TV. That would lead people to believe that satellites, if they did exist, aren't moving at all. Like there's zero movement, either up or down or anything, and so you're able to float in space without any kind of movement. Those are all things that you can use as common sense to debunk the entire hoax. And I guess it's not a salvation issue, but it is a common sense thing. And the more people that snap out of this, the ball in every classroom hoax, it's good. And so let's continue on. That's what our job is. Our job is to keep people awake. All right, where are we at, Jade?
We are on 9, I believe.
Let's not go out that deep in the end. Jeez. Okay, 10. Those who oppress Yahuwah are shattered. From the Shemaim he thunders against them. Yahuwah judges the ends of the earth and gives strength to his sovereign and exalts the horn of his anointed. And Elkanah went to his house at Ramah. The youth served Yahuwah before Eli, the Kohen. Now, is it Eli? Is this Eli or Eli? It says Eli. What do we make of this name?
With the little...
Yeah, is it? How do we say this, Eli?
I think like the one like little smiley thing is more like Ali or something like that.
So it's Ali?
Something closer to that. I think.
What would you say? Would you say Eli or Eli?
Probably Eli.
You think it's more Eli? All right. 11. And Elkanah went to his house at Ramah, or 12.
Yeah.
And the sons, I don't know if I have this right. The sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They did not know Yahuwah. And the ruling of the Kohanim with the people was that when any man offered a slaughtering, the Kohanim servants came with a 3-pronged flesh hook in his hand with the meat while the meat was cooking.
And it's a fork.
Yeah, well, it's actually it's a giant fork. Remember that? We looked that up one time. It's like a giant.
It's just a big fork.
It's like a giant. It looks like an eagle's talon thing, dude. Is what exactly it looks like.
Bigger salad fork.
Yeah, a huge fork. Okay, and the Kohanim would take for himself all that the flesh hook brought up. Thus they did in Shiloh to all the Israelites who came there. Also, before they burned the fat, the Kohanim servants would come and say to the man who slaughtered, "Give meat for roasting to the Kohanim, for he does not accept cooked meat from you, but raw." Where do we have that in the Torah?
We don't.
Some sort of command like that.
These are completely breaking Torah, and they're abusing their Levitical powers.
Yes. And if the man said to them, "Let the fat be burned up first, then take as much as your being desires," he would then answer him, "No, but give it to me now. And if not, I shall take it by strength." So these guys weren't just some little weak priests. I mean, obviously, if they were ripping people's meat off with violence, they were some tough dudes. Or I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, would people fight for their Elohim to do this right? And it sounds like some of them would actually do it.
Yeah, I think they just give it to the priest. Now these are guys like you have Eli, who's like the high priest, whatever. He's like the guy that everyone respects. And you have his sons, and they say, "Give us meat." They're gonna give him meat.
Yeah. Yep. And the sin of the young men was very great before Yahuwah, for the men despised the offering of Yahuwah. But SHEMU'EL was attending before Yahuwah, a youth wearing a linen shoulder garment. And his mother would make him a little robe and bring it to him year by year when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly slaughtering. And Eli Baruch Elkanah and his wife and said, Yahuwah give you offspring from this woman, for the one she prayed for and gave to Yahuwah. Then they would go to their own home. And Yahuwah visited Cana, so that she conceived and bore 3 sons and 2 daughters, while the young SHEMU'EL grew before Yahuwah. And Eli was very old, and had heard all that his sons were doing to all Yisrael, and how they lay with the women who were assembling at the door of the tent of appointment. And he said to them, Why do you do deeds like these? For I hear of your evil deeds from all the people. No, my sons, for it is not a good report that I hear, making the people of Yahuwah transgress. If one man sins against another, Elohim shall judge him. But if a man sins against Yahuwah, who shall pray for him? But they did not listen to the voice of their father, though it pleased Yahuwah to put them to death. And the young SHEMU'EL was growing in stature and in favor with Yahuwah and also with men. And a man of Elohim came to Eli and said to him, Thus said Yahuwah, Did I not clearly reveal myself to the house of your father when they were in Mitzrayim in Pharaoh's house, even to choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my Kohen, to offer up on my altar, to burn incense, and to wear a shoulder garment before me? And did I not give to the house of your father all the offerings of the children of Israel made by fire? Why do you kick at my slaughtering and my offering which I have commanded in my Mishkan, and esteem your sons above me, to make yourselves fat with the best of all the offerings of Israel, my people? Therefore Yahuwah Elohim of Israel declares, I said indeed that your house and the house of your father would walk before me forever. But now Yahuwah declares, Far be it from me, for those who esteem me I esteem, and those who despise me are accursed.
So you see we have these 2 parallels here. You see SHEMU'EL, he's getting stronger, he's becoming more faithful, he's learning the word. Then you have the other people that are already currently the priests, and they are losing their ranking, they're losing their favor with Yah for their evil deeds.
Yeah, and this is the planning of Yahuwah, right? This is the understanding of Yahuwah, that all of a sudden he knew these priests were evil, and instead of just letting that reign, he raised up a child. He raised up a child that didn't even exist, and that it was such an incredible thing that his mother gave him over to the priest, and this child is going to be, what's starting a change inside of Yisrael, or what should have started changing Yisrael. Okay, where am I at?
You are
it's 31. See, the days are coming that I shall cut off your arm and the arm of your father's house, so that an old man shall not be in your house. And you shall see an enemy in my Mishkan, despite all the good which Yahuwah does for Yisrael. And there shall not be an old man in your house forever. But any of your men whom I do not cut off from my altar is to consume your eyes and grief your life. And all the increase of your house die as men. And this is the sign to you that comes upon your 2 sons, upon Kopni and Pinchas. In one day they are going to die, both of them. And I shall raise up for myself a trustworthy Kohen, who does according to what is in my heart and in my being. And I shall build him a steadfast house, and he shall walk before my anointed forever. And it shall be that everyone who is left in your house shall come and bow down to him for a piece of silver and a cake of bread, and say, Please put me in one of the kahuna positions to eat a piece of bread.
No, you gotta, Eli here. He's a good guy. He's faithful. He's righteous. He obeys Torah. But then he has his sons who basically got his whole family cursed. His 2 sons went and did all this.
Wait, you're saying it's the kids, not the father?
Well, it's also his fault as well, because he didn't discipline them and tell them and stop them. He should have gone out and stopped them.
Should have stopped a long ago.
But because of their evil, the whole family got cursed, not just him. So when you do evil, it's not just you that gets cursed. Sometimes your family gets cursed along with you.
Yep, that is absolutely true. Yeah, the blessings and curses fall up on the house, and sometimes you can fall into that. And this is why we believe that the first 5 books of the Scriptures, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, are good for all times. It is what the guidebook for life is about. And yes, we are going to get into issues we don't want to be into. We're going to get into living conditions we do not want to be into. We're going to get into trials and tribulations that we do not want to. And it's going to be patience, right? It's going to be those who are Kodesha, those who are holy, are able to endure even through trials and tribulations that just seem like they're never ending. And sometimes as we are going through these, the greatest thing that we can do is we can seek the comfort and the strength and the power of our Elohim Most High. Because we don't find that strength in ourselves. But we do have a creator who loves us and who loves us very, very much, especially if we are seeking his laws, statutes, and commandments. If we are people who are willing to be a child of the Most High, then our Elohim is willing to be our Elohim Most High. And it is something that we should all be very, very grateful for, that our Creator will even accept us as people. Because we've all come from dirt, we've all come from evil, we've all come from living in Babylon, coming out of Babylon, trying to figure out what the path is. And the path is not easy. And it's not something that is the rest of the world's going to be doing, because it's too easy to walk contrary to the Torah. It's too easy to live in wickedness and live in just corruption. But that's not what we're called to be. We're called to be different. We're called to be different in every aspect, that we smell different, taste different. Everything about us is different. And it will conflict with the world. It will put us in opposition of the world. But that's what we're called to do. So soldiers of Yah, keep your head up. Keep your strength up, shoulders back, stiff upper lip. We're all going to be going through these crazy trials and tribulations. We can't let the devil have us. We're not going to let the devil have us. We're going to reign. We're going to ride with our Elohim Most High, and we cannot wait for our King, his Son, to come and deliver us from this terrible world that we're all into. So, folks, we love you guys very, very much. We hope that you guys have a good rest of the week. We will, Yah willing, we will see you guys tomorrow morning for this reading. Much love.
All right, shalom.